The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café.
Welcome to this episode of Pit Life BBQ. Gather around the pit with your hosts, Johnny Maggs and Greg the Barbecue Broker DiGiorgio. Let's talk barbecue.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Café in Salem, New Hampshire. It's the Pit Life BBQ podcast where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that you normally talk around the pit. As always, I'm joined by the barbecue broker.
What?
Wait a minute.
What happened?
Greg?
Am I stroking out?
Wait, hold on. Look, I got hair
There's
under
Greg.
here. There's hair under
His
here.
hair.
All right.
You're much taller.
Yeah. Better looking.
Oh, much better looking.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, that's right. Greg has his ass in a lawn chair in Aruba right now.
Toes in the sand.
Toes in the sand.
That's right. We're jealous. Kind of? Yeah.
No. I live on vacation, so you know.
You know I do.
I know that. So today we pinch hitting, but always a welcome member to the crew, the one and only Cmac. What's happening, brother?
Thanks, man. Good to be back. I think this is, you know what I was trying to figure out coming back? I think this is 6.
It might
I think
be
3 times as a guest and 3 times filling in. So,
1 to 2 surgery. Yeah.
So, no, it's good. And you and I haven't got a chance to kind of hang out for a little while. I got to hang out with Greg and the boys from NEP a few weeks back for the contest, but haven't seen you for a while. You look good.
Hey, I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
It's hard work
You're going to relaxed and tan and
making a pile of crap look decent, you know?
I hear you. But enough about Greg.
Greg.
What's been going on?
Nothing. Working, cooking, or at least trying to. You know, I always claimed, you know, I'm not a fair weather guy, you know. Whether it's 0, -10, 110, we're out there. Yeah. Just the rain up the lakes this month, it's been nonstop, and it's been downpours.
Yeah.
So it can't even do anything. I literally haven't cooked anything. Yesterday, I did a couple steaks and some pork chops, things like that. But other than that, there's been nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we've had, like 3 days without rain in July. And not only
today
without,
and yesterday.
Yeah, not only
and then
without,
one at the beginning.
without rain, but, you know, that 4th of July weekend, it was freezing.
Yeah.
I'm not used to these
degrees.
cold weather during the summer. But, you got to, you know, fit it in while you can, right?
Absolutely. And everything with you. What's going on with your little show on Instagram?
Oh, so
because that comes on when I'm still at work.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've flip-flopped and we're doing some later shows. But yeah, a buddy of mine, Dave, Backyard Barbecue Smokehouse on Instagram, decided, hey, because you know what? If you're not doing a barbecue podcast, I mean, what are you really doing, right?
True.
So we decided to do one and kind of focused strictly on Instagram. We upload them to my YouTube channel. But just having fun with it, and you know, so far we've done a lot of the companies that we've been working with, especially from the contacts from Team Art of Flame. But we've also started kind of reaching out to some of the other, you know, cooks out there and just having a good time. We're trying to cook, you know, and that's been tough too, right? Because our concept is we're all going to kind of cook at the same time and talk and everything. Well. It's been a little tough. Dave is in the Chicago area, so sometimes he'll get the storms, you know, a day before we will, and so I'll have a decent day. So it's been a little challenging, but it's been fun. We're doing a company called Culver Duck, who is fantastic. You guys like duck? Check out Culver Duck. Shameless plug. But we've worked with them for a few things. We're doing them this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram. You can go to cmac.cooks. But yeah, just having some fun, man. Trying to keep busy and you know, enjoying the summer.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's coming too quick. We're almost in August.
I know, right?
Crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hopefully August, knock on wood or knock on plexiglass, will be better weather-wise than July. Maybe we're due for a nice end of summer, beginning of fall.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Ooh, all the boys are coming out today. Brother James, we were just talking about you, about where you're cooking with that has to do with today. Uncle Steve, Mike C, Gray, Juke, Daddy Dutch, what's happening? Ephraim, my brother. What is going on, boys? Yeah, Cmac's obviously not in the chat.
And nobody said we're late.
The best thing, we're not late.
Right? Right on time.
Right on time, you know. We might have to make a couple changes around here. Nah, that's So, you want to play the pot of Greg on this one?
Well, I just have a question. I don't even need that.
Oh, do you?
I'm just going to freelance.
Guys, today's show is brought to you
I'm
by...
closing it.
You know, guys, do you ever wonder? I gotta raise the volume a little bit, right? Pump up the volume, Chris. Come on.
I got you.
Do you guys ever wonder why your neighbor is having a big pimp barbecue and got a line all the way down the street, and you throw a barbecue and nobody's showing up? Because your neighbor is shaking it up with Uncle Steve's Shake. That's right, baby. I think Uncle Steve's Shake officially now has 47 flavors. 47?
We're closing in. I think
Or maybe
we're at
10.
12.
12?
12.
With the new Lucky
10
Cow
dessert shake.
AP?
And, Lucky Shake.
Lucky Shake.
Lucky Shake is the official name.
Yes, AP. So, listen, Uncle Steve not only is a great guy, he's got my favorite rub, the Gator Shake. Close second, the dessert shake, which nobody else is doing a dessert shake.
No.
Tastes good on some brisket, Cmac brisket ice cream, right?
Oh, for sure
You know
it
it
did.
does. So listen, Uncle Steve Shake, great guy, great customer service. Go to his website, UncleSteveShake.com. Order you up every single one, and that's all you need. How's that? Did I cover most of it?
You win.
You win.
All right.
You went no more off script than Greg normally does, so you're doing fine.
And also brought to you by Two Guys Smoke Shop and TwoGuysCigars.com. Whether we are barbecuing or not, we always keep the smoke rolling thanks to our friends at TwoGuysCigars.com. Today we are smoking the EP Carrillo. Thanks to our friends at TwoGuysCigars.com, we get to smoke some of the best cigars in the world, and so can you. Just visit TwoGuysCigars.com for your perfect barbecue companion. That's the number 2, GuyCigars.com.
And who else have we got?
We are also brought to you by Backline Smokers and Backline Fabrication. Ryan Newland out of the great city of Austin, Texas, is making one-off custom pits.
Beautiful.
There's no straight line. There's a basic blueprint, but it's all up to interpretation. Everything is handmade, thought processes. He'll have a conversation with you, and he will listen to the little things to add custom little details that you would never think of.
Yep.
From a backyard competition style to a multi-tool to a 1,000-gallon pit. He can do it. If you can think it, Ryan can do it. So check them out. That is Backline Fab on Instagram, Facebook, and Backline Smokers, and you'll get them. Ryan's a great dude. Check him out.
Beautiful work.
And also from our friends at CustomCuttingBoardsRUs.com, Ian Hemming out of Magnolia, Texas, is making, in my opinion, the last cutting board you will ever need. These boards are made to take a beating. Everything that we can do on the backyard side or the competition trail, these boards will hold up. From the
Brisket bowl.
we got the regular massive brisket board to the, I always like to call it the countertop, but it's referred to as the dishwasher board.
Yes.
So your normal countertop board, the massive brisket board,
Pizza board?
18 by 36 inch massive.
Awesome.
In the soon to market,
Yeah.
the pizza board.
Not soon enough. I want one.
It is great, trust me. I can still gloat a little bit because
Yeah.
I only have the first one on the market.
We use the big black and red one at the competition.
That's the one.
performed flawlessly.
But yeah, check them out at customcuttingboardsrus.com. That is the letter R, us.com.
Beautiful.
Tell them we sent you. So you ready to do this? I am excited. I've been excited for weeks.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of the boys who are going to be involved cooking in this particular event.
This is it. This is the event.
It's a little small event.
Yeah,
Maybe some of you barbecue guys have heard of it.
Little backyard
Little
thing.
backyard thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's called out of Kansas City, Missouri. It's called the American Royal.
Right.
You know, the World Series of Barbecue.
Yep.
The largest barbecue competition in the world.
And growing.
And growing.
Yes.
But we are lucky enough to be joined by Emily Park of the American Royal. Emily, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this, the granddaddy of them all.
Yep.
I love how you refer to it. That's great.
You know, there's the three big ones. You know,
Yep.
the American Royal, the Jack, and Memphis in May. You know,
All of
those
our
are
friends.
the three major competitions on the barbecue circuit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. Emily, how did you start working for the American Royal? Because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a mailman by trade, and I am super jealous.
Best job
that
ever.
You get to work for the American Royal.
Best job ever.
I'm pretty lucky, I have to say that. So I'm from Kansas City. Kansas City's mecca of barbecue. So you kind of, when you're born, the very first thing you eat is barbecue. So it's part of you. You know, I was an event planner for many years and got lucky enough that there was a spot at the American Royal to plan the big barbecue. And as a guest for many years, so I've been down there. I've partied. I've come down on Friday night and had a fantastic time. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give this one a shot. So best decision of my life, I have to say. I've got a couple thousand new friends, barbecuers, and I get to talk barbecue all day long. That's all I do.
It's funny how that friends list grows when you get into barbecue.
You got a lot of friends, a lot of family members.
Yeah,
a lot of new family members.
exactly.
Yeah. So I've been here for 6 years. Been planning the barbecue since we moved to the Kansas Speedway, where we just keep growing.
Awesome.
Kind of where we're at.
Awesome. Now, how is the excitement over this year in particular with everything from COVID last year and not having the event? This year is, if I'm not mistaken, the 41st competition on the dates of September 16th through the 19th.
Exactly. So, you know, last year would have been our 41st. So let's call it 40 and a half. We planned it.
Yeah.
We just didn't do it. So 41st, and I will tell you, I have never seen teams and judges and people sign up so fast. So it's a great thing. We're sitting at pretty right now at 480 teams, and they just keep coming. So we're not turning off registration. We're going to let, you know.
So no cap for teams?
No cap.
Awesome.
Now, we've got 80 acres to use.
Wow.
So let's use them. That's how I see it.
Oh, that's
so
perfect.
let's use every piece of that we possibly can. And man, the teams are excited. I'm so excited to get everyone down there. You know, I probably get to have 10 calls a day with people who are just thrilled to be back.
Oh, yeah.
And I only get to talk to a portion. So the excitement is there. I think people are going to be traveling in early. I think we're going to have a fun time as well as a great contest.
Well, we talked about this. I mean, people are chomping at the bit, right? Everybody's been on lockdown for a while. Finally, summer's opening up, and people are going crazy for events, especially events with the history of the Royal, right?
Absolutely. I mean, barbecue brings people together generally, so we're doubling down this year. That's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we're bringing people together, and it's, you know, I mentioned this, it's a big old family reunion. You come down there and you can walk any aisle, any walkway, and you run into somebody that you know or someone you wanted to meet from across the country. And it's just the coolest thing.
That's awesome. Now, besides the obvious, right, the barbecue competition, for folks that have never been there before or not familiar with it, there's a lot of other stuff going on during that time of the Royale, right? You've got, I almost took part about 10 years ago in the judging certification. I think you guys probably still have that, right?
Yep,
and then rub contests and barbecue. So what kind of lay down? You don't have to be specific with times or anything like that. But what are all the things going on outside of the barbecue competition?
For sure. So, like you mentioned it, Thursday, we're going to host some judging classes. So you can come and learn how to be a KCBS certified judge or table captain, which is great if you're a team too. So if you want to come in and know how your stuff's going to be judged, take the class. You just got a front row seat to find out what you need to do in 2 days.
Yep.
You don't need to be a judge. You just basically got a little cheat sheet. That's how I see it. Then Friday night. So we're going to have about 500 teams out there, and I would assume about 498 parties. So, it's going to be a big one. Basically, all these teams host parties. We host parties. We're going to have bands on our stage, food trucks and bars, and you name it. Friday night's the family reunion. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So we hope to have 40 to 50,000 people down there Friday night.
Wow.
Just a couple friends and family having a good time.
That's it.
And then you get into Saturday. Saturday, we do a lot of things. So we, aside from the contest, like you said, we'll have kind of family day activities, if you would. We're going to do demos on our main stage where you can meet pit masters, talk to pit masters. We also do the Barbecue Hall of Fame. So we get to induct the Hall of Famers. Unfortunately, we didn't get to honor those from 2020. So we've got 2 classes of Hall of Famers to celebrate and induct this year. Man, I'm going to miss stuff. There's so much happening.
I know.
Saturday is a salute to military. So we'll be honoring any, active or veteran out there who's doing stuff. We're also decided let's serve the people what they want. So we're going to give the first 5,000 people who come out some free barbecue. Why not?
Nice.
This is barbecue. Let's just do it. So we have a lot happening. And then you get into the real, the real contest Sunday. Sunday is the 500 teams all walking to turn in every 30, 45 minutes. So that is when it gets real down and dirty over the course of the weekend. And we'll add some other fun stuff along the way. But yeah, that's where we stand right now.
Nice. So with the competition itself, I know some have, quote unquote, 2 divisions. Does the Royals run it the same? There's an invitational. By invite, you need to qualify, which is you need to grand champion at a sanctioned event that gets you your invitation to the Royal. And then there's also an open division where anybody can walk off the street and cook.
Exactly. So we'll do our invitational cook on Saturday. Biggest invitational we've ever had. Right now, we're at about 200 teams. That's 200 teams who have all won a grand championship in a sanctioned event in the 4 main proteins. So these guys are this is the tough contest, but the cream of the crop, if you would. So that'll be Saturday, and then everybody competes on Sunday in the open. So, if you bought a kettle last week and decided I'm gonna give it a shot, come do the open. Hey, you could take it all home and really upset some people who've been cooking for 30, 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
And that's the thing. You can do it. You can pull it off on a kettle.
You can do it. Yeah. So just show up and do it. So that's a fun thing about Sunday, the open. Everybody can compete. And everybody kind of has their own style. So you get it from all over the United States. Actually, we've traditionally had 10 to 20 countries participate. This year might be a little different from travel restrictions, but really all over the world. Come out, compete, show us how you barbecue.
Yeah.
Just because we're in Kansas City doesn't mean we're not bringing everybody together.
Oh yeah, we have a huge following, and we can't thank them enough of Australia. Our friends down in Australia. And I know there's always been a bunch of teams that always come up and all that. And they're like, oh, yeah, we come up, the Royal. That's what we have to come up for. And, how they get their equipment and everything up here,
man.
that's up to them, But
I've signed off on some shipments that the weight, I'm like, what could this be? And it's a smoker, shipping in April, trying to get it here. So they get their stuff here. They're ready to roll.
Oh, yeah. When it comes down to it, it's all business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Funny, Efren in the chat says, I think he had the best quote so far. I hope heaven is like the Royal.
Oh.
Yes. That would be
I hope you're
fantastic.
coming to the Royal. Get out here.
So, hey, Emily, you mentioned it a second ago, and I kind of had it on my list too, the Hall of Fame. So I know the Royal kind of took over the Hall of Fame, kind of managing that back in 2012. Tell us a little bit about that. And you said it's going to be 2 classes. Are the classes still 3 people per year, or?
Yeah, we changed it a little in 2020. So, we took over in 2012, more just to get the groundwork that was already laid out and kind of run with it. So the biggest thing that I would say from being a part of the Barbecue Hall of Fame is to make sure that it covers all scopes of barbecue and all over the world. That is our biggest commitment to barbecue, is when we talk Hall of Famers, what have they done to the world of barbecue? Period. Doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what industry you're in, but have you changed the world of barbecue and how have you impacted it? So that's always our goal. We changed up a little in 2020 because we realized that, the story, the history of barbecue is way before our time, way before anybody here has ever even graced the earth. And so we added a legacy class for those who paved the way, who've passed on. And so we now induct 5, 3 living members and 2 who have passed on each year. And hopefully get their families out there to honor them for their commitment to barbecue. And many of them are still in the world of barbecue. Their family's now in the business. It's been going for 75, 100 years. And it's been great. So everybody knows they're in, but now we get to party and celebrate. We're going to bring them to the stage, get them their awards, give them the moment to shine that they all deserve.
Yeah.
So we're pumped. We've got 10 this year. I'm hoping they can all come. And if they can't come, no worries. We'll get them out there next year.
I'm thinking Pit Life BBQ podcast class of 2025.
Love it.
I accept the nomination to the hall. Oh my God, that would be an absolute dream.
Right?
Yeah. I'm nowhere near.
So I have to give a nod to the committee here. Our committee's posted on the website. So if anyone has a couple minutes, go look at this committee. Man, it is the who's who of intelligent barbecue historians and authors and people who are giving every moment of their lives to share the story of barbecue, who we are lucky enough to sit on a committee together. And I sit there just baffled by the content sometimes. Like, how can you, 7 people, know about the 200 people we're discussing and know every little part of their lives? It's incredible. Yeah. And man, they do it with grace. And they're so excited to bring, new inductees on. But that is a crew. And I will say the coolest thing is I'm the only one sitting in Kansas City. They're all over the United States. Yeah. And so that we can make sure that we are catching barbecue everywhere. No. What's happening in California? What's happening in Texas? What's happening up in Canada? We want to know what's happening everywhere because everyone has a different story. Yeah. And what got your city or what got you to the game? Tell us about the restaurant that's been there for 200 years. Tell us that. So it's a cool thing to be part of, and we're just honored to host it.
That's awesome.
Now the committee is how did they form the committee, or is the part of the committee members of the Hall of Fame, living members, or?
We have one member who's is a living member, is Ray Lampy.
Yeah.
But the rest of the committee, I'm going to give this one to the barbecue gods and luck. Is, there a couple years ago, we were in a pivotal moment where we were like, we got to give a little bit more to this committee. We want to learn more about barbecue. And so my colleagues and I just started making calls, said, hey, is this John Shelton Reed? You want to join a committee? Read your books. And we just started making calls. Then they started making calls, and we just built this thing from the ground up. And boy, we're like the luckiest group ever, because, it is the coolest thing to know the least amount of information on a phone call and to listen to people talk, where I'm just like, bring them in. They know their stuff. Yeah. It's fantastic.
We had done an episode maybe 2 years ago on that after the inductees were announced. Mm-hmm. And, looking into it, to see who is in the Barbecue Hall of Fame, you look at it and you go, okay, I can see that. I can see him. I see her. Mm-hmm. The one name that had stuck out to everybody and completely perplexed them was Henry Ford.
Really?
Of Ford Motor Company. Because no one understood or knew that he hated waste. So with all the extra wood that he had left over from making the Model Ts, he figured out how to make charcoal from it, which after that sold that company and the patent to, I believe it was his cousin, who I think the last name was Kingsford.
And that
sounds
I think
familiar.
That one took off a little.
Yeah, it's some of the names in there. That one, like you said, that one sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
What does Henry Ford have to do with barbecue? And you go back and there it is, and it all comes back. It's like that. What was the Kevin Bacon game? The 6 days,
7 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Everyone was in the
you
movie.
can play that game on this Hall of Fame list.
Yeah.
That's a map. But yeah, you could do it.
7 degrees from Ray Lampe.
Dr. Barbecue himself.
Dr. Barbecue. You know it.
One of the best beards in barbecue.
That's right.
That's true. I like that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So, for the teams that are going to be out there, know that Saturday night at the award ceremony, even if you're not part of the award Saturday morning or Saturday night, because awards Saturday night is invitational awards, come on over and watch this and be part of Barbecue Hall of Fame. You're going to, it's going to be great.
So Emily, I again, most of the people that follow this show are know about the Royal and big barbecue competitions. This is your job. When do you start planning for the next year, or have you already started some of that? What does that timeline look like? Does it overlap?
We try to sleep for a couple weeks after.
Okay.
I'll tell you, we already have our list going for the 2022 Invitational because teams are competing, so that's great. We get through the barbecue. I work at the American Royal. We do a lot of other events here. So we do rodeo, livestock show, about 5 equine shows. And I got to give this to you so the barbecue is our biggest fundraiser. It helps do all these other, equestrian and agricultural events for the year. So once we get out of doing all of our events, we get through the holidays and we start again. I would say about January, February, we start going.
All right.
So it takes a solid 8 to 12 months to plan.
Yeah.
So I always, when we're talking to teams, where's the map? Well, I tell you, we start from scratch almost every single year. The map takes us about 100 to 200 hours. And we go through every single team name. We go through their requests. We go through who do they want to be by? Where are they coming from? Are they an invitational team? How far is their walk to turn in? All these things. And it takes us days and days and days. So it's a long journey, but hopefully by the time we get there, everybody shows up and they're happy and having a great time. That's really all that matters.
Without naming names, I'm sure you got some good stories about some wacky requests. Come on, what a couple of the wacky requests that teams have asked for.
The ones that always just crack me up is when someone just puts in their notes like, hey, can you put me by John? Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I can guarantee there's a John
You
in
got about
this
1,770 to choose from.
Absolutely, I can. Or can you tell me how long it's going to take me to walk to turn in? I'm like, how fast do you walk? Like I can tell you how long it's going to take me, but I don't know. Are you running? When did you get that box ready? It's fine. I think the funniest is when we get those ones that are just kind of like, give me the best spot.
Yeah.
You bet. I'm on.
Got it.
I will do the best I can.
Isn't the best spot at the Royal technically
right?
any spot?
You would
at
think.
the
I
Royal?
love that. That's going to be my signature line. That's what I'm going to say moving
I'll
forward.
take that very far corner. I don't care.
I'll take the far corner in between the dumpsters and the porta potties.
Hey, that's a good
I'm
spot.
happy with that spot. Don't
You
have
got
to run to
everything
get
you need,
right
and no
there.
one's going to bother you.
Exactly.
So you go party somewhere else, you come back there to sleep. That's
right.
how I see it.
They're not going to be shigging what you're doing between the porta potties generally.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
the no.
They want
That's a
no
no shigging
part-
area.
Yeah. It's another area that starts with SH.
Yeah.
It's
Nope, not
shigging
there.
is not it.
True that.
But some of the other, but like we were saying, that this is the American Royal is an all year thing, and it comes back, and it was just, it's got to be. In my mind, it was a few weeks ago, but it's probably a couple months. The sausage and rub competitions.
Yeah.
We
do
we've
those
had a
in-
couple friends who did well. Our buddies from, actually, Big Salinas BBQ.
I was like, I
had
know that
I want
logo.
to say the third or fifth place finish. King Louis Meat Apostles, our friend Michael Goff, had a 7th place in the spicy category with his spicy apple rub. And, how does that work? And, is there a set date for those? Or does that vary from year to year? Or did it get all screwed up with last year? And
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So we moved it to May a couple years back. It used to be the week of the barbecue. And what we realized was we were getting spread a little thin on all the things happening. So you had teams coming out, turning in their sauce, turning in their rub, being part of 4 contests. It's exhausting. Let's go ahead and put it that way. And we were like, they're already manufacturing this sauce and rub. Let's give them a little promotion in the spring and push it all year round, was how we saw it. So May is National Barbecue Month. So we're like, let's pick May. It was as easy as that. And so we ask, if you have a manufactured sauce or rub, barbecue sauce or rub, send them in. And we do a blind KCBS tasting of that. So sauce, I want to say this year, a little over 400 sauces from around the world. And then rubs, I think we hit our higher number this year, like 250. So the also cool thing is this is such a good opportunity for anybody who can't travel. You want to showcase your brand, you want to send something, send it to us. It's a nominal fee, $65, and we'll judge it. And then if you win, we work with some great partners. They work to help promote you. We will promote you. Change your label, add a little ribbon on there to say you won the best, the biggest rub and sauce contest in the world too. So we are happy to say we're the biggest of those as well, of barbecue rub and barbecue sauce. So it's pretty cool. We have 5 categories of sauce currently, 2 of rub. We'll probably extend that in the next couple of years because people are coming out like the ones sitting right in front of you. People are coming out with some cool stuff. So we might need to make a specialty category, that dessert rub.
Yeah. You hear that, Uncle Steve? You hear that, Uncle Steve?
I think you got the upper hand on this one.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. So like we had, Emily, like I said, thank you so much. I'm so excited talking about the Royal. It's a dream. But like we had said before we came on, we have have a lot of friends who are cooking in it this year. I know Barton's Barbecue, Jonathan Barton, James Pavia of Amon and Clam and Team Tito's, all those guys are going down in different groups. A good friend, Bill Purvis of Chicken Fried Barbecue, who he has absolutely torn up the KCBS circuit since.
He's coming up, though, isn't he? Is he coming from Texas?
Oh, yeah.
See? Okay.
And, our friend Daddy Dutch, he's going too. So he said, tell Emily if she sees a giant 300-pound, 6'5" white guy with a crew cut, you run into her yelling her name, don't be scared.
Absolutely. I like that. If that's how
just
I
say,
want
hey,
to
Daddy
be
Dutch,
everyone.
and you're good.
So,
wish those guys the best luck. But we also have a couple friends who have actually won
yes,
grand
you do.
championships of the American Royal. One of being the local boy, our good friend Bill Gillespie of Smoking Hogs.
Yep.
And he won it, I want to say, fairly early in his professional career. And then also David Bosker of Butcher Barbecue, who we've had on the show and, become friendly with. And listening to them explain the feeling of getting their name called at, like you said, the Royal. It's officially, at a barbecue, it's become like Madonna.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even need the full name.
No.
It's just the Royal. And you know what everyone's talking about. What has been some of your experiences with those pit masters before, during, and after getting that call of grand champion of the American Royal, the official world champion of barbecue?
I think that moment is what makes everything we do worth it. That is the coolest thing of what I get to do all year long. And I will tell you, if you're ever looking for me during the awards, I'm all the way behind the teams, hiding, watching, because I want to see it.
Yeah.
So I like to watch their reaction. I like to see everybody part of it. It's my coolest weekend, or part of the whole weekend. And, I have had the honor to get to talk to those teams, 10 to 15 minutes after, which they're so overwhelmed. And they've hugged about 75 to 100 strangers on the way up to the stage. Is life-changing. That's the coolest thing. So many of those pit masters who maybe we're about to say, I love my job as a banker, but I'm thinking to open this restaurant. Boy, did they just change their mind when they walked up to the stage. That has happened so many times. Or it's just, it changes everything for them. It's so cool. We're so lucky to get to be part of it, really, more than anything. And, I just always hope we honor them to the level that they deserve. That is, my goal. It's awesome. I love getting to talk to those guys. I also love getting to talk to them the next year to say, hey, guess what? You're already invited to the invitational. And they forget. They're like, oh, yeah, I won the contest. I was like, hey, you're in. So you might try to win it again. Like, keep going.
Now, how does that work? If you win grand champion, you automatically get in.
You technically won grand champion at a sanctioned event.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the rules state.
That would make sense, right?
You're just gonna beat yourself. That's how I see it. We always joke about, is it ever gonna happen that the invitational and the open is the same team? We've never seen it happen, but it could. Wouldn't that be wild? Now that guy
would be. Oh my God.
That guy or girl or family or group is having a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
If that happened.
Oh, my God. That would be fantastic.
We would have to get the good champagne for that one.
And I love how you guys do it, because you really take the royal word into consideration. The trophy itself is the crown on top of the base. And then the pitmaster, because I've seen pictures from Billy of the crown himself on himself, the purple with the robe, it's
we have a
wild.
throne. You're the royal. The bottom of that award is actually butcher blocks too. We got a tie in.
Absolutely.
And that thing is so heavy. I'm going to tell you that when those teams hold it over their head, I'm like, oh man, be careful. I know you got a lot of adrenaline, but you're going to fall over. But hey, so far, so good.
Yeah, it was a quick, funny story. My co-host Greg, he's a real estate broker, and we talked about this with Billy on when he was on a couple weeks ago. So I'm not talking out of the side of my mouth or speaking to something I shouldn't. But he recently sold his house, and small world, he went through Greg's brokerage team. So the guy who was working with Billy knew Greg was in barbecue and us, and he called him up on one of the days of the showing. He goes, listen, I'm in this house. I don't know who this is, but I am looking at one of maybe the biggest barbecue trophies I've ever seen in my life. He's like, well, what does it say? He goes, American Royal? Well, what's the team? He goes, oh, Smoking Hogs. He goes, that's Billy Gillespie's house. And we told Billy, and he was howling. He goes, yeah. And on that episode, it was where he was set up. He made sure he had that right above his, I want to say it was right above his right shoulder, where everybody can see that one. You know,
I love it.
That's fantastic. He didn't try to abscond with it.
No. But
that thing was probably in glass, you know.
Hope so.
There.
Should be. Mm-hmm. All right, Emily. So I got one more question for you. So a little departure from the Royal. So you're born and raised Kansas City girl?
Yep.
So I had the opportunity. I was telling Johnny this before the show. I had the opportunity to work out there for a few years when I worked for AT&T. I had some offices there. And it was a dream, right? So every time I came out, I would plan which places I would hit. I ate myself through the town, you know, the classics, the Arthur Bryants and Joe's and so forth. This is my 60 minutes question. I'm going to put you. Yes, I am. I'm going to put it. What's your favorite?
Not doing it. All right. I have worked this job long enough. It's like someone saying, what's your favorite barbecue team out there? I was like, all 500. I'm not saying that. No way. Okay. Born and raised here, I will say I am very selective. I know where I want my turkey from. I know where I want my burn-ins. I know where I want my brisket. I know who has the best fries. I know who has the best sides. And my dream situation, it comes from about 7 places.
All right.
Okay. Fair enough.
I have to say it. You know, my list is long. And if I even rattle off 3 names, I'm going to feel terrible that I'm missing the 4th because those guys are my friends and they come compete. I will never.
All right. I figured that's the political answer that I was going to get.
It's true.
True.
You know, I have to tell you a cool thing here. A lot of those restaurants come and compete at the barbecue, but they compete under a secret name.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is genius, so that they can either try out something new or, you know, I mean, you guys know this. Backyard barbecue is different than contest barbecue, which is different than restaurant barbecue.
Yep.
Those ribs are different for all 3. So if you go to a restaurant, you want your ribs to fall off the bone, but KCBS is going to tell you something different.
Right.
So if you own the restaurant and you turn in these ribs, you don't want the judge saying, can you believe how these ribs are? When I had them at the restaurant, they tasted different.
Yeah.
So that's my coolest thing is to walk around and I'm like, hey guys, I'm not saying anything.
I'm not saying a
I know
word.
where you are. It's my secret safe. Don't worry.
I love that.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Now,
I like it.
if you're both there, I'll take you on my little private tour of my favorite places.
All right.
But I'm not saying it on air. Absolutely.
I'm just going to throw it out because I don't care. I'm going to throw it out. Old school, Joe's is my favorite. Back then it was Oklahoma Joe's. Because what is better than getting barbecue in a gas station, right?
Absolutely.
And for new school, I kind of like the Jack Stack and Country Club. That was my. I used to always stay down there, be able to walk down there. They did good stuff.
Jack Stack is your place to, you know, you should I put it this way. Jack Stack is my fancy barbecue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, should I change from sweats to jeans before I go eat this?
Yep. Nailed it.
There's that, but you got other old school ones, and I'm going to plug them because they're both in the Hall of Fame this year. You got Ollie Gates, Gates
Yep,
Barbecue,
Gates.
and Hall of Fame, and Arthur Bryant's.
Bryant,
You
yep.
can't talk Kansas City barbecue without them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Fact.
So that I think that was my first bites of barbecue was that as a little kid.
yep.
And man, little did I know how lucky I was. Like,
Oh, yeah.
boy, yeah.
Classic
No, there's so
joints.
much. And you can't go around a corner here without a new place. And then you eat that and you're like, well, this is fantastic. What do I do now? Now my list is so long, I don't know where to eat.
Yeah, for sure. But Emily, once again, thank you so much. This was
Great.
an honor to have you on to talk to Royal.
Absolutely.
You know,
I should get back on post barbecue and we talk about what really happened.
Yes.
okay.
The stories, the
All right.
fun stuff.
We'll
That would
definitely
be-
set something out. You know, I got the email and we can get in touch. That would be awesome, an idea. I love it. But once again, thank you so much. Where can everybody find you, the American Royal, social media, websites?
I will tell you, website, AmericanRoyal.com, and it's /barbecue. But if you just email bbq@AmericanRoyal.com, you're emailing me and my team here. We'll tell you anything you need to know. We are your concierge service, if you would, of anything that we can share from this moment until you arrive, until you walk on stage and get your payouts. We'll tell you everything. My goal through all this is that people come down, have a fantastic time, and keep coming back and get to see their friends and family and have the best barbecue, I would say, in the world.
Awesome.
I'm gonna say it.
Awesome. Thank you, Emily. I
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate you taking the
Fantastic.
time. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much. We will be in touch for the follow-up.
Yes.
I think so. That sounds great.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
Awesome, brother.
I'm making my reservations tonight.
I know.
Do I need to tell my wife?
No.
No? All right.
It's easier to ask forgiveness than
Kent
permission.
and I'll get a place together or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Two big old dudes sharing
Wouldn't be the first time
twin-
it happened. But awesome, brother. Thank you so much for pinch hitting.
No, I
Where
appreciate
can
it.
everybody find you with everything you got going?
Cmac.cooks, Instagram. Most of my stuff is on Instagram these days. Trying to get a little YouTube going again. Same thing, Cmac Cooks. Blackstone Boys. I've been firing up the Blackstone lately. A little CJ Frazier from Blackstone
saw
Products has a little thing going on through this Thursday. What is it? Will It Bandito Challenge. So fired up. See, people don't think that I fire up my Blackstones anymore, but I do. I just focusing on the live fire stuff a little bit more. But having fun with that, and I'll
Awesome, brother.
all over the place.
Awesome.
Thank you for letting me hang, though. It was
Dude,
good.
it's always open to you.
It was
You
good.
know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. Catch the audio wherever podcasts are found. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. You have all our episodes right there at your fingertips. On social media, you can find us at all the links down below. Questions and comments, please send them to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. And like always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button.
Boom.
And Greg will be back next week, maybe. Depends on how Aruba goes.
Yeah.
With
You
a
never
tan.
know. With a tan.
More of a tan.
Hopefully a sunburn so I can just open it out and scream every time. But until next week,
Keep the smoke rolling.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.